Hello, everybody, and welcome to another talking episode, I guess, of Total Pebble Knockdown. Hello, sir. I am Nathan.
And I am Alex. And today we are we're in your supermarket, I guess.
Yeah, we are doing a podcast episode, but we are not actually in Podcast Village. We are, I think, more aptly in Supermarket Simulator, because we were going to talk about what you refer to as Simulator Slop, and I thought this would probably be a good example of what we're going to be discussing. Now, I will note up at the front, I'm going to show it to people a little bit later, but I actually have spent a lot of time in this one and a few others we're going to talk about. I'll have definite criticisms of it, but I guess I'll also have to be the one to play devil's advocate and try to defend them to some degree just because I played them.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see. So Supermarket Simulator, just for the record, is probably the game that a lot of people think about when they think about these sort of games.
I blame Let's Game It Out.
This is one of those games, man. The basic setup, as you can probably see, is that we start with a small store. We don't even have the storage area unlocked at this point, but we've got our little storefront, and for this one it is, well, it's just called Supermarket for right now, until we change the name and customize it, but...
So I'm familiar with this game. I've seen it played, obviously.
Okay.
Let's Game It Out destroyed the entire game.
Oh, sure.
So I've seen it played, and it's. I really wanted to kind of talk about these types of games. This specific, like, you are running a store.
Yes.
Game.
Yes.
Simulator, quote unquote, game.
Yes. Since I'm doing a store, just while you're talking, I'm just gonna get myself a little product. This is the first basic product that you have. Which is apparently you got cereal, you got your sliced bread, your flour, your powdered sugar, your pasta, and your oil. Obviously, you do get more.
Your essentials,
yeah. Oh, actually, sorry, I can't quite get all of that because I don't have the money for it. I only have $50 here. I gotta.
Well, you gotta spend money to make money.
You know what? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have fun here. I'm going to. What's the cheapest thing I can buy? It's flour. Let's see how much flour I can just buy for...
Sure. I can tell when I said, as long as you don't get distracted, you're already getting distracted.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Okay, I'm just going to buy 4 flour. How about that?
Sure.
There's also a
that's
shipping.
not unimportant.
it's unimportant. But anyway.
Wow, instant shipping. Those drones are crazy.
Yeah, by the way, these stores will instantly ship to you, so that's fun. But the basic idea is that, I pick up my box, I put the product on the shelf, I throw Mr. Box away, I come back in here, I put the product up on the shelf.
Well, that's not how striping works, Nathan. We've both worked retail. I don't know what you're doing.
I know. You want me to go up and down, don't you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. You know what? We'll play this like we are actually working in a legitimate supermarket, and I will go...
And see, that's one of the things for me, personally. I still work in retail.
Yes.
So, like, a game like this, especially Supermarket Simulator, I go, this doesn't look exciting to me. I do this in real life. Why would I want to play a game based on this? That's just working at work, doing my job...
Right.
Well, I'm home playing a game to relax, but now I'm thinking about work. So,
right. But okay, this is my devil's advocate part, though. My devil's advocate part is there's a lot of games that actually simulate work. Power Wash Simulator is a working game. Where you
that's a very different feeling, unless you are a power washer.
Oh, sure.
If your job is power washing, I assume you don't go play Power Wash Simulator to relax.
What about Lawnmower Simulator though? Because we all
you already fell asleep during that.
I did. I went back. I tried it again, and I stayed awake for a little while, but I also got very bored.
So one of the things for me with the simulator games like this is, you and I are both aware again from working fairly good amounts of time in retail that all of this stuff here, like especially if you're making a supermarket, you're not going to be the only person that's making all of these decisions.
Oh no, no, you're they're assuming that you're basically like the owner-operator of the store, and then eventually you'll be able to, expand out and then hire people, because you do hire people in this game as well.
Yeah. So the thing about that for me is, like, if I'm gonna expand out, I don't just want to hire people to do the fun parts of the job. I want people who can do the logistics part of the job, so I can do the fun parts of the job. I got Car Dealer Simulator.
Sure.
Which I was telling you about earlier. It's kind of a mix between a almost not quite as good as Car Mechanic Simulator, because that one goes really in depth with the car mechanics.
Oh, sure.
This one goes in, you can do like light repairs, light body work, you can wash the car and stuff. But it's also one of these style games, so it's like it's not super in depth with those things, but there's a bunch of things you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can hire an employee, and the employee can do like derusting the car for me, do the body work, so they can derust it and then sand it and then filler and then finish sand it, and then I can paint it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I enjoy doing the part of the game that I just hired somebody else to do.
Yeah.
So like, let me hire somebody to do the other part that I don't like to do as much. Like the power washing, if it was more fun, would be good, but like, let me hire someone to do the car wash for me.
Sure. Right.
I can pay them less than a body worker too.
Yeah. No, I understand that. The store simulator, though, the thing that we're kind of talking about right now, has a very straightforward design. And it's basically like, I'm actually out and about in the town where you can buy product directly from the sellers. And they're a little cheaper and you don't have to pay shipping, so I could have probably just done this. But the idea is basically, you buy product, and then you
just walk out with it.
I bought it, and then I just walk out with it. Eventually you'll have vehicles, so you could put everything in the vehicles.
And let me guess. Hold on, let me guess.
Yes.
The vehicle do you drive the vehicle?
You do. You drive the vehicle.
Okay, let me guess. The vehicle driving is crazy janky.
Oh yeah. In a bit, when we get into my fully fledged out store, I will show you the jankiness of the car travel. But
okay, because that's one of the other things about these games. They all seem to use, if not the same asset packs, very similar looking asset packs with the same vibe and general aesthetic.
Oh, sure.
Most of the time.
Sure.
Unless you're getting into like the arcade one, which would definitely use a different like texture set.
Oh yeah. Arcade Paradise, I played that, but that is much different than your store. I think I just saw one though that was VHS. That was like the old video store, so it's like a Blockbuster. Like if you ran a Blockbuster.
Now see, my question, I don't know if you know this, but for that one, the question for me would be, do you get to watch the VHSs that you have there as well?
I don't know. I haven't played it.
Because I doubt they would have enough ability to make videos for you to watch while you're doing that. But that would be neat if they did.
Oh, sure.
But they could also, if they did the Voices of the Void thing, where you can take your TV and upload MP4s into the game.
That would be neat.
Or at least so you could use the game to access those files on a video player in-game.
Yeah.
Like, that would be neat then.
That would be cool.
But at the same time, I really want a VHS store simulator that also treats the game like an analog horror game.
Yes. Well,
because that would just be thematic.
And as we go through here, too, I do want to talk about, like, the wasted potential. Because I think that there's definitely a lot to talk about with these games and wasted potential, and you just kind of saw me wander around the town. You're going to see that there's not nearly as much to it as you would normally assume. In my management tabs, though, this is also really standard for a lot of this. We have product licenses here, which is that, I get enough money, and then I will be able to find... I'll now be able to sell these different products, and it goes.
Yeah, because that's definitely how that works.
Yes, that is definitely how it works. It is very, very simplified to what it is. Your bills.
Yeah, it's not the same thing as like Oreo paying your supermarket
for
to have premium shelf
Yes.
space at the beginning of your aisle
which is
of cookies.
which is what actually happens, where companies will
Right.
pay for specific placement in the stores.
Yeah.
The growth section, which is probably one of my biggest bugaboos, because
Bugaboos?
yeah, it's a bugaboo. The problem that I've had with these, and this is, I had this with TCG Simulator as well, is each one of these section increases will increase the store by a 4x4 meter square. But even though the amount of space doesn't really change, you'll notice that the prices start at $350 for the first expansion, and they go up to $300,000 at the end for the same space increase, which seems
Here's a
horribly
question for you for
unrealistic.
this specific game. I'm assuming the entrance to your store always stays the same?
No, you can move it later. If you make it larger, you can change your entrance if you want.
Does the outside of your store reflect how big your store is?
Yes. Eventually, this whole thing here will be fleshed out to be the supermarket. This whole part here will eventually be fleshed out.
I wasn't sure if like you had a backrooms dimension here and you could just keep building out into the building more.
Oh, yeah. No. You do have hiring, but you do need to get certain store levels and complete checkouts to get it, but you'll have cashiers, you'll have restockers, which you're going to find are the most important thing to have.
What? Are you telling me the people who put the things on the shelves are the most important people to have working in your store?
Yeah.
Can you tell the company I work for that? Because they don't think so.
Oh, yeah, more than the security guards, more than the janitors, more than the customer help people. Although I have found that the customer helpers kind of replace your cashiers at a certain point. You need 6 stockers, 6 customer helpers.
I just can't believe you would say that restockers are the most important
listen.
people for your game.
Hey,
It's
listen.
almost like it mimics the reality of actually
We ride
working
it
at a
on.
supermarket or any other retail store.
Prices typically fluctuate in these games. What they'll do is they'll just tell you what the market price is, and then you kind of price it based on that.
Sure,
Usually
I know
I'm
how
a little
merchandising works.
Yeah, usually I'm a little above market price, but I guess I'll open the store so that we can do the part where I actually check people out, because that's the basic idea of the store. But yeah, we have to perform. My objective right now is I have to perform 25 checkouts. So I'll open the store, and as I open the
I
store...
like that
yes.
you just swap out your neon sign.
Yeah, I just swap out the neon sign. And it is only at that point, by the way, that you'll notice that the clock in the top right corner of the screen starts counting.
So
Yeah.
one thing you need to do when you get a store like this later is you need to make sure that like impulse is up by the front, candy and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then out in the back, the furthest corner of the store, you need to have your milk.
Out in the corner of the store, I have to have my milk? Oh,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I definitely
That's
do.
just how supermarkets lay out.
Yeah.
their
Do
stores.
I put my... I was going to say, do I have to put my loss leaders somewhere, like, in the back aisle? So that...
I don't know.
Okay.
But milk is always in the back because that's the essentials they put in the back of the store because they know that you'll have to come in and get these things more often. And so if you have to walk by the rest of the store to get there, you're probably going to get something else.
So I just click on the item, I take the money, and then if I don't have any change to give back, I just say thank you, and they go away. And then
Yeah. You know what? You should just be able to install a self-checkout.
wait for it. Again, I'll show you a fully built out store in a minute. But they do have those. Those are options that you eventually get. But it takes a while. I'll also show you some of the glitches in this game that are big exploits, because it's not like, okay, I have to give you $1. So there, you have $1, you go away now. And I'm already up to $22, and I had barely anything today. Oh, flour? You'd like flour? Okay, I'll take that. Oh, I need to give $46 in change. There you go. You enjoy your flour. So, if people are buying then I know that my prices aren't that bad. But
Sure.
if
That's how
if I did though,
math works.
if I did do this and I put this to $40, I don't think anyone's gonna buy that.
Oh, I'd still buy that $4 flour. It's organic, whole, ancient oat grain.
It's Master Flour. It's Kraft Tongue Master Flour. You gotta love Kraft Tongue Master Flour. Oh, it's a credit card. Okay. What do I have to do? All right, I have to put in the amount. Oops, 6. There. So credit.
I thought 600 was good.
Yeah, it won't let you do it. If you try to do that, it will not allow you to.
Declines.
Yeah. Sorry.
Chargeback.
Decline. But you will notice that when you set your price too high, people will just not buy that product. I think that there's actually just a script in their head of how much they're willing to purchase, or like.
I like that they come in with a bag from outside. Put the product in the bag.
Everyone comes in.
And then
the bag, yeah.
And then they take it out of the bag to put it on the.
Absolutely, they do. I don't have any bags here. The bags will auto-generate. That is something very typical. This is also true of TCG, Card Shop, where they'll all of a sudden have.
Where'd she get the bag from?
She got the bag.
She didn't have a bag
from her back. She had it in her back pocket. A lot of people don't. You don't keep a paper bag handy on your hip at all times.
I don't keep paper bags at all, and I don't use cash either.
You don't use cash? Well, see, there's a cash and a credit card machine right here.
Yeah. I haven't used cash in years.
Oh, okay.
Also, this walk. See, this is one of the other things for me with these simulator games, the simulator slop, is the NPCs.
You're going to see a lot of similarity between NPC models, and you're also going to see the walking animation is going to feel very stilted.
So it's just this very small pool of generated NPCs that come into your stores or do whatever that you interact with. And they always look absolutely objectively terrifying.
And it does seem like these are asset, models, right? Oh, it's too expensive.
100%.
Apparently, it's too expensive. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's too expensive.
look at that glossy. Look at those glossy faces.
You love
these horrible. Maybe the DLSS 5 will fix this.
Yeah, maybe the DLSS 5. Look, the thing about it is that if you were ever looking at these games to be like masterworks of art, you're going to be sorely disappointed. These are definitely not that kind of a game. They are what they are. And yeah, it does definitely feel like Unity assets. Are you going to buy my flour? Ooh, you're going to buy my flour at 5? Sweet. I don't have any
go to those empty shelves. Look at them and complain that the shelves are empty.
I don't have any product there. Jeez, you got to buy more stuff. But he will... Ooh, that's good to know. He will buy this for $5, though. So $5, not objectionable. It's too expensive for him, though. See, he's not going to buy it. All right.
This is a boutique flower store.
I'll put it at 4. Ooh.
Why don't you cut the difference to do $4.50?
Here, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 10, but I'm going to put a discount of like 60%. There, look at the deal you're getting. See, they're all gung-ho. Yeah, look at that. 60% off. Isn't that a pretty good deal?
Look at that terrifying face.
He's a terrifying... Hey. You look great. Never change. Anyway, so yeah, you can put discounts on this stuff. Maybe I could just do 50. Maybe I could still get $5 a pop out of these guys. I don't know. Your day ends at 9. Your day always ends at 9. What kind of discount is that? It's a 50% discount, bud. Hey, what's wrong with you?
So one of the other things is most of these games too, you can't interact with the NPCs aside from like taking their money.
I cannot interact with the NPCs. They're just here to... Oh, okay. I guess my discount... Okay. And now I would finish my day out. What about 60? Do you want to buy that? Last customer of the day? Maybe? Okay. Here. Okay, I'll take your card. And $4. And congratulations, we've completed our transactions for the day. And my sign has automatically... Oh no, it still says I'm open. But nobody's going to come in now. And so, hey, we have $108, so that was a pretty profitable
Look at that.
day.
And do you have a home you go back to?
No. What's going to happen here is, well, first of all, I guess I would go and buy some more product and get ready for the next day. But then past that, what I would do is just finish out the day, and I will start outside of the supermarket, which I'll show you in a second. But I'm just gonna...
So as we talk about this, missed opportunities, any sort of leaving your store to do anything else.
Oh, out here?
Yeah. Aside from this where you can go around and buy some stuff for your store in the town.
So...
There's like nothing else to do, right?
The only other thing that you really do on the map, if I show you the map, there are parks.
Sure.
I guess you can go to the park or the garden and just kind of like be there.
Is it just a scenery then, or is there some kind of thing to do there?
It's just the scenery. It will be
Yeah.
I can... Oh, I'm sorry. So apparently I had somebody come in late. I didn't know that we were still doing... Okay. Just here. Just, yeah, $8. Yeah, enjoy. Somebody's still coming into the store. It's after 9. Whatever. Okay.
Yeah, that happens at my store all the time.
Yeah, but usually not coming into the store after it's 9.
Oh, some people.
Some do. That's annoying. But you do have a park and you have a garden. There is, as far as I can tell, nothing that they do. There is, however, we'll see. I'll show it to you in the main store, but there are online orders that you unlock where you do the shopping and then deliver it to people around town. And so you have this, really this block that's inside of the cautionary tape here. And they could be anywhere on these streets. And then you'll have a time limit to collect all of that product and get it to them. So that, but beyond that, no. This town, they don't always have a town. TCG Card Simulator that I was playing recently, literally just, it has a store, and then it will have a block that goes from, I don't know, maybe about here to about the same place on the other side. There is nothing on that block. It's just basically the outside of the store, and there's nothing to do outside except to get your packages and deliver them. That's all there is. And frankly, when I look at Supermarket Simulator here, there probably wasn't much reason to have the town be like this. Like, I can't actually interact with much of the stuff out here. Which I guess gets into the first thing about wasted potential. Because there is actually a great, like, see these back alleys and that construction zone and stuff? There's some interesting things you could do something with that wouldn't be the Supermarket Simulator, I suppose. But, like, I was going around this town one time, and I was thinking to myself, man, you know, there's so much potential for, like, little mysteries and stuff, and, like, hidden stuff in these back alleys, and this
or, you know,
yeah.
Maybe a street light's out. Maybe there's NPCs doing dynamic actions, not just walking around.
Right.
Looking crazy. Maybe one's sitting down on their steps smoking a cigarette. Maybe there's weather. Maybe there's a day-night cycle. Maybe you can't see that skybox.
Maybe you do something like they did in Shadows of Doubt, where you actually have, like, radiant stuff going on. Or could I actually get into some of these things and find documents or find, you know, information that I didn't previously have, or, you know, maybe just for the fun of it, I could get to these dumpsters and I could dumpster dive. Maybe I could find some, like, useful cash and stuff in there. That would be great. Or
that sounds more like one you do in your
yes.
Storage Hunter.
Or, yeah, you know, they don't have that in Storage Hunter.
Dumpster diving is something they need there, because that's basically the next best thing.
It really is. But anyway, like, yeah, so for instance, here we are at the garden at night here, and it's just a garden. I can't sit on these benches or anything, but it would be really interesting. That's good water effects right there. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's almost correct around the
It's almost like, can you jump?
Yeah,
you can jump. It's almost like that's just a 2D PNG a loop.
There is an air to these games where it does feel cheaply made.
Incredibly so.
Incredibly so. Now, the thing about it is, back to the wasted potential thing. These games have a very simple game loop. It's, I buy product, I put product on the shelves, I sell it, I make my shop bigger, and rinse and repeat. You know, that's the whole game in a nutshell. Which is cumulative, and I think that's why people keep playing it. Sometimes I'll play it just because it is one of those kind of turn brain off, just, you know, keep slowly accumulating stuff over the course of time. Even though it's janky, you can kind of find a little bit of charm in how janky it is. But the thing that would be amazing is if you had games that were like this, and when I go to these places, there is potential for, yeah, actually, I can actually go right in here. There's nothing to do in this basketball.
You have a accessible basketball court.
Yep.
And nothing to do there.
We have the meat shop, which is not open right now, but there's a butcher shop, as you can see, for meat and dairy. There's a lot of things. There's this, I believe, is the park over here. It would be great to be able to do something like this, but then also utilize this as almost a psychological horror game, where there is, like, if you saw something happen over there, like you saw a shadowy figure over there and it was gone. You know, there's some actual potential here. I don't think I've even been back here before because there was no point. But there's some real potential for, like, lore building and, you know, seeing stuff. And if the actual game was about uncovering a mystery, like if it was Killer Frequency. Like, imagine if this was the town and the Whistling Man was actually out here and you could see, like, you could encounter the Whistling Man. And so the real game was actually trying to stop the Whistling Man, but I have to run my supermarket. So, like, so now what am I going to do? I ventured beyond the city limits. So this is...
so this does bring me into the next...
Also,
yeah, see, the cars don't know physics.
Yeah, the cars are going to go right through me. The guy's going to go right through me. I can go through all the cars.
Brings up the other part of...
Not this one.
Not that car.
The ones that
of wasted potential there is that
here we go.
A lot of these simulator games like this are purely simulator games, and the genre and the other bits to the game that you could have, like to have different style, different genre, they don't have anything. They're 100% simulator.
Yeah.
But and by that I don't mean they're simulation. They are just, it's a simulator. Because the simulation, I think, would have more going on.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I also love the fact that no one is actually driving these cars.
Right. Like, you could at least have that. Like, that's not... So when I think simulation...
Yeah.
I think of, like, a flight sim. Where it's simulating me flying a plane. It's a lot more immersive.
Right.
Because things actually matter.
Right.
There's no real... You've been sitting at 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah, and it will not
time
change
is meaningless
until I enter, yeah.
You don't go home. There's no place for you to sleep. You don't need to eat. There's none of any of the stuff that you would consider like an immersive sim.
Right.
Or even like a life sim, which is fine.
Yes.
But like the wasted potential there is like, even if you just added those things in, it doesn't need to be a survival game. So it doesn't need to be like, yeah, you're gonna die, but at least be like, yeah, you need to like also pay your bills and buy your food, and you're a real person.
Right.
Or mix it with some other genre to make it interesting.
This would be a really interesting thing to do, almost like Stardew Valley, in terms of like you get to know the actual people that are running the different shops, and they have stuff that's going on, and maybe they have objectives for you, and there's like radiant things that happen in the town. They're doing a festival, they're doing a parade or something, and So they like ask you like, oh, could you do donations, or maybe there's specific sales that you want to do, or people have specific desires. Like, we're doing the watermelon festival, so now I got to get a bunch of watermelons and make sure I have those stocked. There's a lot of potential of being able to see this town as more of a living, breathing entity that you become part of, and really expand that out. Now, they don't do that in Supermarket Simulator. I'm going to just give you the lowdown. The basic thing is this. Your stats. This is the basic thing that is going to matter to you, is your stats. How many customers did I have that were satisfied? How many products did they find too expensive? What was my supply cost? What was my income? It's the capitalism part of this, and it is very much the capitalism simulator, which means that there isn't going to be much that is beyond that. There really is no NPCs in this game that you interact with in any meaningful way. Not your employees, not the people that come into your store, your customers, and the big thing that you're going to interact with is the product on your shelves and the money that's coming into and out of your store. That is the reason why you're here. The entirety of the store simulators are. After here, just so people can see daily expenses, you'll receive daily bills starting today. Make sure to pay the bills using your computer before the due date, or they'll be paid automatically. And the more
then if it doesn't need to be paid by me and it will do it automatically, then why not just let it do it automatically?
Yeah, they could do that. I think that they want you to try and budget for this, but it's also kind of not important to do that. Where is the bills in here?
That just is a wasted mechanic, because to go, yeah, you can pay your bills online, or they just get auto paid.
Yeah,
like within 3 days if you haven't.
Yeah, which is
it's like, oh, you don't
lovely.
Maybe incur a late payment fee if you're gonna do that.
Yeah, they do fees and such in this game anyway. You can take out loans if you wanted to, but as you can see, if you're just patient, you really don't need to worry about that. It's not really that important. And as time goes on, there are also displays that you eventually get where you'd be able to, put more product on these shelves. At least in some of them. I don't think in this one necessarily, but let me just see here. I'm just going to put my powdered sugar up here. I think powdered sugar next to flour makes sense. This is actually like me doing the metagame. The game does not specify that like products should go together or how you merchandise it or anything. The game is basically just like, yeah, put them on a shelf somewhere, stupid. Just do it. And,
which it should be, like, I would want it, especially like if you have employees.
Yeah.
Again, do it like an actual retail where you can be like, all right, this section is for bread, this section is for cheese, this section is for wine,
Yeah.
I think that would be more interesting because you can strategize and plan as well, and then you could enforce your hirelings to stick to that as well.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I mean, once you denote these shelves for something, as long as there's like an icon on here that says that the product goes here, your stockers will stock to that location. And you can take them off if you really want. But in general, there really isn't any reward or benefit to laying out your store in a certain way, which I think is also wasted potential. Like, if you had the ability to set up zones in your store, right? You could set up these zones in the store and say, this is the zone for your produce, so now I have the produce section. And this is where people go for it. And if things are not in the right place, potentially, you miss out on sales because people got confused as to what section they were in. Because you didn't do a good job of actually shelving and marketing your product. They don't really do that. Even the discounting, because you'll see, like, I did 10 with a discount. But even so, it basically comes down to, is the price that I am giving them is that sufficient? If it's too high or too low, regardless, the amount of sale price that I'm giving them does not matter here. They do not care. It is just the basic amount that they are paying. I am going to, when we get to the big store, though, I'm going to show you one little workaround that you could do about that. That has led me to make a lot of money because, as you can imagine, these games, considering what they are, also have a tendency to have some pretty big glitches in them.
I don't think it's glitching. It's just oversights.
It's just oversights, yeah. But your day is... Oh, I also have to turn the lights on every day. I always forget about that.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, the lights should just stay on automatically for most of these stores. But
they do.
But I gotta keep the lights on. My electric bill's gonna go up if I turn those on. Oh no. Eventually, too, here's the other thing, is that these are the basic shelves. This is actually what I usually ended up using. But if you wanted to, you could go into the... Is it my market? Furniture? Yeah, there are single shelves, double shelves, there are the quad shelves like that are around. Eventually you get refrigerators and freezers, and there's certain products that can go into these different ones, the freezer chests. And then the racks and stuff, that's for the back room. Right now you don't have any reason to use those because you don't have any freezy or refrigerated stuff. But eventually you would. It will increase your electric bill, so that's something to consider. But yeah, I'm gonna ring up the stuff. I'm gonna take the card, and I'm gonna just punch in that amount and thank her for her business, and move on.
So one of the ones I have seen floating around, and I haven't seen anyone play yet. It looks maybe something we could do on like a live if you wanted.
Sure.
That I've been thinking about because it looks interesting.
Oh.
Is a game called Roadside Research.
I have seen that pop up, but I didn't know much about it.
So, I'll read this description because this is on point with what we're doing.
Before you do, though, let me just make note that on the game here, it is telling me that I do indeed have a dirtiness indicator. And I will have to go and mop this up. So, but yes, please tell me about Roadside Research.
Sure. So Roadside Research, as per its Steam description, says it is a 1 to 4 player co-op gas station simulator, except you're aliens and undercover. Do very human things like restocking shelves while preparing for the invasion. Just don't get caught. Oh my. Okay. So this game is a simulator, a simulation game.
Sure.
A management game. It says it's a life sim. It's also co-op, comedy, and has like more. It's a funny game. Sure. You know, so it's similar to what you're doing. You still build out your store, you put in product, but there's more that goes on. Yes. You have like a plot. Oh, sure. You have this task you're doing. You have upgrades that you can get that are for your character in the alien things you get. Okay. Yeah. You have like product and store upgrades too, but then you also have like your alien research you're doing. Sure. But basically it's like a sillier version, but it has more things to do because suddenly you're tasked with probing customers and spying on people and trying not to get caught doing alien stuff. Sure. Yeah. I guess you can get a ray gun and just obliterate humans if you want. Oh yeah, that sounds like a lot more fun actually. I've seen some other games that tried to work on this formula. There's one that I looked at that I thought had potential that was about running a store, but it's in the zombie apocalypse. So you're helping these people during the zombie outbreak in a store that you're setting up, but you also have to defend because zombies can come and rush the place, and people need to, have medicine and stuff. So there's that.
I've also seen one store simulator where it is actually like a horror game, and so when like during the day.
Oh, is that Order 13?
Oh, it might have been. It's like people will come and they're possibly like anomalous. And then at night there are actually like monsters that patrol the halls while you're trying to do your restocking job and.
Yeah, because I definitely work those double shifts every day.
Oh yeah, and you occasionally see big tentacle monsters that come out of the walls. People who, like, I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, it's like you're in this spooky town, and there are weird people, and so it has a little bit almost of like the Exit 8 kind of style, sort of surrealist part to it, where people will say, like, no, don't open the door for them. And they're like weird people with the big smiles on and stuff. And
right.
you then have to decide. It's like, I need some food. And you're like, oh, okay.
Right. So games like that, as like with the roadside research I was talking about in Order 13 or whichever game you're talking about, those are the shop experience, but there's more.
Yes.
And those games are, to me, infinitely more interesting than just this.
Sure.
Because in that horror one, it's a creepy game, and there's weird stuff going on, and it plays itself out for that. In Roadside Research, we haven't played this, but I'm assuming it's more of like the Lethal Company type of game, except you're doing it in a storefront.
Yes.
Perhaps. Something similar to that type of slapstick comedy.
Sure. And there was another one, I think I just got a demo for it, but it is like an 80s inspired, doesn't look like the assets like this, actually looks like more of a cel-shaded like art style that they created for the game, but that one is like about a video store, where you're putting out videos, like VHSs in the 80s.
Is that the VHS one?
Rewind 99. It's called Rewind 99. So it's like set in 1999, and because you want to party like it's 1999, and you have like a video store that you're building out. But it is not like the Unity asset kind of look like this. It is more of a, looks like it was a customized cel shaded art style.
That could just be a filter.
It could also possibly be a filter. I have not played the demo yet, so I'm not sure. But what I think might be helpful is, we've seen the basic ideas of how you start the store. What I'm going to do is going to get out of here, and I'm going to load up my actual store. We're going to actually load up the actual store so you can see it. Because I have the store Chew Ought to Know, and you are going to see at store level 64, you are going to see what a fully fleshed out store looks like. And I'm going to drop in at the very beginning here, and you're going to see, okay, here we go. Here's my stalkers. I have a lot of product here. I'm going to give them a little bit of money here so that they speed up.
Yeah, that's exactly how that works.
I give them a little tip, and they get a speed boost. Here, get going. I have a lot of product I need to get into the store. So this actually gives me the opportunity. Here's a fully fledged out storage section. As you can see, you can put 2 boxes of each product, or I think 4 for smaller ones, in each one of these sections. And then they'll pull from here in order to go into the actual store. I have a lot of storage back here now. I also have security cameras. Put up some security cameras. But
there you go. Gotta protect those boxes.
You'll also notice that I currently have $6 million. So this has been a very profitable business. But let's go into the actual store for a second. I have my one cashier. And you know how you said self-checkout lanes?
Yeah.
Here's my self-checkout lanes. And I do have my little helpers that are currently
I love that it's all the exact same person.
It's the exact same model. Also, my security guards.
Yeah, because you're a bougie supermarket.
Also, my cleaning ladies.
Your little old ladies. I love that they're all the same exact little old lady. I hope they're triplets.
Yeah. Surprisingly, though, my stalkers all look different. Don't know why. but my stalkers all look different. In TCG, Card Shop Simulator, you hire individuals that are all specific people. This one, you don't. You just say, I want another cashier, and they just send you another cashier. But here, like, I did more foresight into this than you probably have to, but you're going to notice, like, I put, like, my cookies and my cereals are on this one, my big kegs, and 6-packs or 12-packs I put onto this shelf. I have this lovely place for my dairy. Here's all of my cheeses and my butter and my eggs. I made a whole section for the eggs. And, let's see here. Got yogurt. You got your Star K. You got your tuna.
Your Stark.
I got my milk. I got juice. I've got sodas. I put, unfortunately, these freezers really don't hold that much.
No, why would they want to hold anything?
I don't know. But this is literally as much as I can put in here, is like 4 chickens in each one of these sections. So we've got the freezers along here. Back here I put my teas, and I put my coffees around here, my chips, and of course you gotta put the vodka and the whiskey and everything back here right next to the chips. You gotta do that. And then, yeah, this is just like your cooking supplies. I tried to put those here. Your bulk items, like your water and your potatoes. Your cleaning supplies. Here's the sign, clean your room. You're gonna love the signs I put up here. This is wet-ass produce. This is my produce section. I bet you didn't know that's what WAP meant, but there you go.
I didn't think about it till now.
Clean your room. What did I put up here? Oh, category. That's my favorite sign. Divorced dad. This is the frozen section. I thought that was funny, but and then of course I just put lactose.
I mean, you would just put dairy there.
No, it's lactose. And I should have just put intolerant, but I did not have the signs.
I don't think butter has lactose in it.
Produce is interesting just because these are priced by pound. So, each one of those individual pieces has a certain weight. And then the idea is that you have to have your helpers. Your helpers will eventually come over here, and they will help people weigh their produce. I'll show you a day in the store in a minute, but basically, you'll notice that I've priced these at 0. I have a 100% discount on these watermelons and some of the other produce here. They're discounted down from $9,999 a pound. And the reason is, when I get online orders, they still pay whatever the full price was before discount. And each one of those watermelons is considered 10 pounds. So if one of my online orders comes in and they say they want literally one watermelon, I get like $100,000 for the watermelon.
That's a lot of cash for a watermelon.
It's a lot of cash for a watermelon. Even if you don't do that, though, if you just price them normally like this is basically the market value. If you price them at 99% and just put the full price at like $700, they'll pay the $700. And you can just get the $7 in store. I'll open the store up so that you can see this, but now that this is a fully modded out store. This is fully expanded. This is a fully expanded back room after, I don't know how many days in-game, but, at store level 64. And these folks just kind of sit around and wait. If somebody tries to steal stuff from the store, one of these guys will rush in. If I get more product in, these guys will activate, and if something goes... Oh, see, one of my cleaners just went into the store because there must have been a spill. I also now have access to this little tablet with the little gun. So if I go around and say, oh, I'm out of this, I can just say, okay, well, I want more of that, please. E to purchase. Okay, so I just immediately purchase them. The boxes come out here, and my stalkers will get to work. So that's service with a smile right there.
It's definitely service, that's for sure.
Did I not have any beer in this? Oh, okay. I was waiting to see if there was another kind of beer, but I have run out of possible beers. But if anyone's wondering what like a fully fleshed out supermarket simulator looks like, it's this. Although I will say that, oh, you're suspicious. Hey, yeah, beat him with a stick. Beat him. Thank you. He'll put it back. Thank you. There is actually, you do get a bat. So if you if you see shoplifters in the store, you can smack them in the head. I, however, unfortunately, in the limitations of the game, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I can actually hit customers. Oops. Anyway, yeah, so I forgot. I can actually hit customers. So don't do that, I guess is what I'm saying. Don't hit your customers. Also, something that's kind of annoying is that if I have product in my little thing, but the shelves are already stocked because somebody came out and stocked them, I now can't put this in here. I'm just stuck with this in my box here. And really, at this point, what you're looking for is your roadblocks, you know, your bottlenecks in the flow, because at this point, it really is trying to get into a flow state. Buy some product, and then have them put the product out onto the store shelves, and then get my money, and then just move on to the next thing. I haven't gotten any online orders, but I guess I'll show you the car, though, because here's my big truck. It's the biggest one that you can get in the game. You start with, like, a skateboard. You can buy a skateboard to start.
Skateboards are imperative.
Yeah. But this holds a lot more. So, anyway, here's my driving. Ow. And you'll also...
Sturdy light post.
You'll also notice I am not in the car. I do not exist in this world. I do not exist in this car. So, that's fun. Oh, I'm venturing beyond the city limits, and I can't do that. But it's very... Oh, the car just kind of, like, hits up again. I'm not going to tell you that this is, like, Grand Theft Auto as far as, like, car physics go. Ooh. I can rear-end people, though. That's fun. And you can go off-road a bit, too, if you wanted to. There is a gas gauge in this, so that you can... you have to make sure that you stay all gassed up. The gas system, too, if I'm right, is just, when I get here, I just press for refuel, and it will basically say, yeah, it's $5, and it will just count down the money that I had.
Right.
While I do that. I don't get out, I don't press the thing. Again, very rudimentary, very, very bare bones. It is also at this point where you can go to different store places like this around town, which is not something that other simulators typically do. You usually just have online orders for a lot of these. Right. But you can, indeed, get out of here. I could go in here, I could say, okay, I want to buy this thing. Oh, but we have an online order, so I have to deal with that. It's also 9 p.m. They've given me an online order at 9 p.m. Fun fact is that the online orders here are on timers. However,
You just had a thief run away, too.
Oh, they beat his ass. You can see, this guy, the other guy just, yeah, he's done beating him up. These are actually on timers. For instance, Sky West here, I have essentially like 5 minute in real time, but in game it's supposed to be like 5 hours 22. When this hits 9 p.m., since the timer stops, I now have as much time as I need in order.
Well, that's silly.
In order to do this, because time has stopped. But I go around, I grab the correct items, which is going to be fun. Where's my Big Tony? And you'll see what my total is right now, because I'm basically charging them like 10,000% upscale for the luxury of having me do this. It's it's like most delivery services, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's just hey, congratulations. Let me see. Close and tag. And then can I just put it in the thing? And now here's where I look at my map. And, okay, SkyWest is up there. So I have to turn around here. And I'll go and deliver this and make me some money.
There you go. Money made.
With the first couple vehicles, you can't put much in them. But as you can see, now that I have a truck, I can put, I don't know, 6 or something orders in. Hello, take that. And then I get, like, yeah, $5,000.
And she even says thank you. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. And that is really the extent of what you do in this town.
Yeah.
There really is nothing. If you were looking for anything deeper as an experience, that is not going to happen here. You are out of luck.
Now,
yeah.
Now, one of the things I did want to touch on slightly, too, was that in the genre of job in simulator games, we also get games that do occasionally break the mold quite a bit differently, like the Order 13 or the Roadside Research, but even more so when you get down to something like Voices of the Void, which you knew I was going to bring up.
Sure.
Because as I told you before we even started playing that, I said, hey, this is a job sim, but it is also a horror game.
Sure.
But also like an immersive sim and life sim.
Oh yeah.
Like I was talking to Crave. I was like, I would like there to be more games that do what Voices of the Void does, where you're not just working at your job. You also have your life outside of that. Whether it's, a park ranger, for instance. What if Firewatch, but Voices of the Void?
Yeah. Firewatch definitely had the potential to be fleshed out more to do that. I don't think we...
And so, like...
Yeah.
And so, like, what if you had a game like Firewatch? You are a park ranger or a forest ranger or whatever. You're living in a, Firewatch tower, whatever.
Yeah, that's what you were in.
Your job is there. You have to go check all the trails. You have to go repair pathways and signs. And you have to actually eat food and maintain the radio tower and all that stuff. So what if like that, but as like what Voices of the Voice did? Because it's an interesting concept to go, all right, well, I'm playing a game that's a job and I have a task to do, but I also have other things that aren't these tasks that you can go and do. I think a park ranger or forest ranger would be really well to like completely rip off Voices of the Void. Not to say that Voices of the Void isn't doing a lot already, but it's like it's good at what it does.
Sure. Sure. You know what?
And so I know. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you know what else would be interesting? If Voices of the Void had a shop in it, and you could set up a shop in Voices of the Void, and then the anomalies kept coming in.
Yeah, for the aliens.
Yeah. Can you imagine if the aliens in Voices of the Void came to do some shopping? Because you had some interesting technology that they wanted to like take as souvenirs back to their home planets. Your technology.
I think they'd want some of the food.
Probably.
But yeah, like
your brain.
Something like that, where it does the job sim and it does your task, but then you have other things going on. And again, it doesn't need to be a survival game, but like just have more to your game loop in your life in the game than just doing this. And then when the time is done, you don't go home, you just go back to work. What's the point of having a day-night cycle if you can't enjoy having a day-night cycle?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there should be something to that. I also just want to make a note that these chips are called Covito for some reason.
Perfect.
It would be neat. Here's the other thing, is that it would be neat if there were certain like, as the day went on, if you really wanted to play with the whole day cycle, if you realize that there's going to be, like, rushes on certain things throughout the day, that you're going to sell more product of certain types, like, maybe I, like, at the end of the day, like, after 5 o'clock, this vodka starts shooting off the shelves. Right,
Yeah.
like after 5 o'clock, and like if they utilize that, or you get different kinds of customers, or you have to understand different kinds of customers, there's also the possibility for complexity there. Or if you really shopped around for produce, or you could figure out like making deals with different kinds of vendors, but maybe some vendors are not particularly responsive, or they have trouble getting product to you, or they have subpar materials, or they try to undercut their prices. There's a lot of potential of stuff you could do, even just in terms of like the capitalism, shop design thing that they make. Here's an example of that. Do you remember, what was it, space organ harvesting, or space organ black market simulator?
Yeah.
I played it. I cannot remember the name of it. Space Warlord yeah. But basically, it's like a marketing simulator where you buy products on like a market, and it has a market value, but it's like space organs, and you can deliver them to certain people and stuff. So there's like a narrative. You have to kind of get used to the fact that the people that are bidding against you, or the entities that are bidding against you, have kind of like certain personalities to them, and they like certain things, and you have to figure out who you're going to be selling to, and which leads you to an actual end game where you get one of a variety of endings. I don't know if any of them are good. The one I got certainly wasn't. I think it was just the end of the universe because of who I chose to work with. Which actually kind of brings up another problem with these kinds of simulator slop games, is that there is no end here. There's no actual end game to it. There really is no overarching narrative that comes along with it. It is just, I build out my store, and after you have completely built out your store, you are basically just maintaining the store. That's all you're doing. I have successfully purchased all the sections of the store. I have successfully purchased all of the storage. I have done my customization. Oh yeah, here, you can change the entrance position. You can change the appearance of the entrance and your store name. I paid my bills. I purchased all the licenses for products. I've done all the things. And there wasn't like a thing at the end when they were kind of like, congratulations, or like some kind of end part where they're like, you have fully finished your store. And it's not like in a Stardew Valley, where if you actually complete like the community center and stuff like that, you get this whole thing that wraps up the Joja storyline with Joja Mart, where you kind of like kick them out of town, and you rebuild the town, and the storylines come out of that. And then you can still play after that, but you've wrapped up an actual narrative. There is no narrative with these games. This
not usually.
Like the ones that I've played, there is no narrative. There's nothing like that. The only thing I said when we started this episode, you had said I had given you two choices for games that we could play. I said that we could do Supermarket Simulator or the TCG Card Shop Simulator, which I had played more recently. And you said, which one is more boring? And,
Right.
and because it would be probably better to show the boring one. I considered this boring, but I think that's only because at least TCG Card Shop Simulator has a thing where you can like open packs of cards and see different kinds of cards and put individual ones up for sale and take them out to get graded and stuff like that, which you don't do in here. But even that is pretty superficial. I get them graded, and then I can put them out, and chances are they're going to be worth more money as individual cards. I put them out, I try to put a price on them and sell them, or trade them, because people will come up and ask for, will you buy this individual card I have? And you can haggle with them, or trade them a card if they're looking for a specific card. But that's basically the only reason I said that one was more interesting. There is the potential with that one where they've talked about roadmaps, and their roadmap for that is that they would eventually have like a fully fleshed out trading card game that you could play, and you could organize tournaments and stuff like that. I have my own problem with roadmaps of content, because I think it tries to sell people on a game that is not finished, with the promise that there's going to be more in the future.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess loftier goals. I guess at least there's loftier goals. I don't think Supermarket Simulator is going to do much more. And actually, when I went in here before we started, there was a whole thing where they were telling me about add-ons, because you can purchase add-ons for like a few dollars. But it looks like the add-ons are just licenses for other things. You can get a clothing market that you can put into the store. There's like a whole liquor piece if you wanted to expand that out. But I'm also not going to pay additional money for the game so that I can just sell yet another product in the store. I'm not
Yeah,
going
that doesn't seem really beneficial to me. And for how much they probably made making this game with versus how much it probably costs to make this game.
Oh, sure.
Like, you could add more to it if you want to, or you could just make another game.
Oh, sure. Yeah. There will inevitably be a Supermarket Simulator 2. I can almost guarantee you. It would be cool, though. Going back to the anomaly part that we were talking about before with like Exit 8 and the potential there, it would be interesting if you did have to like go around your store, get used to your store, and maybe you do see anomalies that are not supposed to be like that. Maybe your staff looks different or looks at you weird one day, and you have to acknowledge that, or there are problems. It's not just like cleaning up the floors, but maybe now you have to clean up anomalies or they start to spread. And if they spread enough, then you have like, just like everything goes chaotic. And eventually Cthulhu comes out of the sky.
Oh, that's not where it usually comes out of, but...
Or the sea. But there's no sea here. So, the question that I have for you is, you really wanted to discuss the problem you have with what we're calling simulator slop. And I'm wondering if you can give me just the overall reason why this is a problem for the gaming sector. This sort of thing.
The problem is that these are so low effort that so many people are just making them, and they're flooding everywhere.
Right.
You can find like probably 10 different Supermarket Simulator games out there that do the exact same thing and probably use almost the exact same asset packs.
Oh, sure. And the thing about it is that if we're talking about like a streaming market, because game streaming is a very big thing, these games play very well for streamers. Because they...
And I think that's a problem too.
Yeah.
Streamers need to not play slop games.
It would be helpful. And I understand the reason why they do, because, you're in chat, you have a personality, you're playing around and having a good time. Stuff like this has the jank and like the low res kind of low effort look to it. Regardless of how much time and attention actually went into the game, the look has that appearance where there's a lot for you to talk about and a lot of you to make fun of. There's a lot that you can play around with and razz on and have a good time as a streamer. And then what happens is people watch the stream and they're like, oh, that looks like it's going to be a fun goof. and I'd like to play the Goofy game. But
And you know what usually happens to me when I play the Goofy game?
yeah.
I get bored really quick.
Right, because you're not the one that's actually streaming the game or playing with people or anything like that. The only reason I ended up playing these games is because it has just enough of a game loop going on where you can be doing other things, you can be watching stuff. I think I played this while I was actually catching up on some movies I've never seen. And you can, like, kind of tune it out a little bit. But the thing that I always found is there's a lot of different kinds of games that I can play that are kind of tune-out, zone-out games. And ultimately, I've found that this genre is probably the least satisfying among them. Just because you continuously start talking about, man, it would be cool if they did this thing. Man, it would be really neat if they had done this instead. And you feel ultimately unsatisfied with it as a genre. You'll still end up putting a lot of time in it if you're, half playing it. It's what we like to... It's what I'm going to now refer to as half playing a game. These are great half-play games.
Great second monitor games.
They're yes, thank you. They are second monitor games. Better way of putting it. But even so, I will give you that this is one of the less satisfying second monitor games that I have played. Even though I kind of play every game as a second monitor game when I'm just playing by myself. But this is probably not as satisfying as when I play, like, roguelikes, because there's always something new happening with those. I, for some reason, will never put down Balatro. Sorry. Not sorry. Just can't. The Vampire Survivors of the World. Those are just fun. They have satisfying game mechanics. They're not particularly difficult to understand. You get better at them as time goes on. You unlock a bunch of different things. And they're fun. They're just fun, interesting little games that were built with purpose. Like, they were built with an actual team that really wanted to build something in particular. Unfortunately, as you said, these shop simulators are something that really would not take a lot to make relative to other games. A lot of these are things that you could find in an asset pack. A lot of these are things that you could just pop in and play. You don't really have to think too much about the logistics of stuff. I don't need an animation to get in and out of the car. As we can see here, I can literally just pop in. There's no animation required. I don't even have to put my character in the actual vehicle. I don't have to worry too much about the vehicle mechanics. I can just immediately slam into this car, and I don't have to leave a note or anything. I can put a world around this, but I don't have to make it particularly large. I don't have to populate it with any meaningful content. And I can then ship it out, and inevitably I will get a lot of money back for it, because people will pick it up relative to what I paid for it. You just have to come up with a somewhat interesting concept that's a little bit different than the supermarket thing, and you can make this happen. And you might, in some cases, not even need to have cars, and you might not even need to have this map that you go around.
I think they need to give me a Segway.
They need to give you a Segway, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the closest thing you have in here is either the skateboard or the bike. Or a scooter. There's a scooter, I think. Yeah.
I'd like to point out that you're currently driving your truck the entire time only in first gear.
I am... Yeah, I can get up here, and it will go to 2.
Oh, it does. It goes to 2.
3. I'm in third gear. Oh, no. I don't actually remember how fast I can go with this truck. I mean, your walking speed is actually pretty sufficient. 4. I got up to 4, but now I'm gonna get knocked back. Do they even have stats on these? Oh, I'll have to go and check. But yes.
You got up to 5th gear.
You got up to 5th. If you go in a straight line from point A to point B across the entire map, you will eventually get to 5th gear. Skateboard, bicycle, scooter, then you have your
$1,000 bicycle.
Yep. And your pickup is $12,500.
Yeah,
I think I skipped.
These prices are a little insane.
Yes. $300 skateboard, but a $12,000 pickup truck. Yes.
Like, that's a great deal on the truck and a horrible deal on the skateboard and bicycles.
Yeah. But I think I pretty much got to, like, the bicycle, and then I just waited for my store level to be high enough to get the pickup truck. Because there was no real reason to keep buying the other ones. And your $100 baseball bat and your $30 crate, and then, yeah, I paid $150 for the tablet. And you can get different kinds of floors, and you can get different kinds of paints and furniture. Obviously, there's, like, different stuff that you can populate your... Not a lot of different stuff, but...
You know what? That just made me realize, you know what they need to add to Voices of the Void?
What?
Tiles and paints.
It would be nice, wouldn't it?
So you can repaint the office.
See how lovely my tiles and my paint jobs are here?
Yeah. I mean, tear up the flooring and repaint and refloor the entire alpha base.
Yeah, absolutely. I will say, though, when you get the flooring for this, it basically, you buy 10 panels of the tile at a time, and then you have to individually lay these down. It's a fun thing that you get to do. But yeah, for the amount of effort that it has, it is definitely the kind of thing that will sell well. Determine it on the amount of effort that puts into it. I guess the better way to say that is, compared to the amount of effort that puts into this, these have a tendency to sell well. Your price per, like, man-hour of building game is relatively high for these, but...
We're guessing.
We're guessing. Maybe not. Maybe these actually take an incredible amount of time to make. But I'm going to say that as far as they are presented, not so much. And it definitely feels like there's a lot of potential with this that is usually not met. As we were talking about, all the different kinds of things that you might be able to do with these games. You could definitely go in more of the psychological horror direction. You could do a life simmy kind of version of this. It would be really nice to say maybe there's mysteries. Maybe it's almost a shadow of a doubt where you can go into these buildings or things like that. You learn about your customers. Ooh, you learn secrets about your customers. That would be interesting, There's a lot of potential beyond just doing the supermarket thing that fleshes it out beyond that. That would also be, I guess, simmy in terms of, like, what you would normally have to do to run a store. Like, maybe your produce goes bad, or you have to get product off the shelf that has, like, an expiration date. There's a lot of potential for ways you could flesh this out that they chose not to do. That they really just chose not to do. And so it's kind of a shame in that regard. It does make me start thinking, though, what would be a really interesting simulator game if you want to go meta, is you make a simulator, where your whole simulator is trying to build a simulator. And so, like, oh yeah, so now I've created, sort of like how they did with, like, what was it, a video game maker or whatever, where you have...
Game Dev Tycoon.
Game Dev Tycoon, yeah. Do that, but with a simulator, where you have to, you have to build out these stores to sell them to customers as a simulator. Like, hey, do you guys like this? You could do this, you could actually build it the exact same way that Supermarket Simulator is, but I'm not really here to sell the product on the shelves. I'm here to sell people on if this simulator looks interesting to them, and then see if I get sales for the simulator that I've built.
Sure.
Because, hey, you know what? In many ways, the simulator market is kind of the same general framework as the in-game part. You never know. You could make it work. It would be really nice, though, if there were a few more character models. It would be nice if there were a lot of things, I suppose.
It would be.
There are not.
But that's for next time.
That is for next time. I think we've simmed it up as much as we can. There are definitely some of these shop simulators that look more interesting because they did put an individual spin on it. But as a basic idea of just, here's your shop where you sell a certain thing, it's pretty bare bones. And so it would be nice if they were able to flesh that out more. Here's the question that I'd like to end on, though, Alex. If you could make a shop simulator that sold something, what kind of shop would you want to build?
I mean, you could do like a comic shop or like something like that.
Sure.
Which I'm sure exists. There's the TCG shop, and then there's a tabletop like miniature one that's coming out.
Oh, fun. Yeah. That would be...
But, like... Man, I'd want something that would be more interesting, so you have both the shop aspect and then some other thing going on, too.
Okay, so I had an idea for what we could make. Okay, get ready for this.
Okay. I'm ready for this.
Okay. Toy store simulator. First of all, because I get to resurrect Toys R Us. Okay, I'm gonna make my own Toys R Us in the game, but okay, here's the fun part. Sometimes those toys might be coming to life. So you're in the store and you get like notifications. Like, for instance, I'm on my computer and you get notifications and you just hear, hey, I think that there's like a product recall on this thing because there was an incident, and it makes it sound almost like it was child's play. Sorry, the Chucky dolls you got in might actually have a problem associated with some of them. Be aware of the recall code that's on the back of the dolls. And then if you have them, sometimes you go by and one of the dolls isn't there. One of the Chucky dolls isn't there. Where'd the Chucky doll go? And then you go into the back room to check on your stalkers, and there's like a body in the back. And you're like, uh-oh, what happened here? And then like at night, the giant like Jeffrey Giraffe might like haunt the halls of your thing. I think I'm making Five Nights at Freddy's. Basically,
yeah, kind of.
Basically, I'm making FNAF as a store simulator. So you're not just checking the feeds, but you actually have to be aware of that. It would probably be a little bit more like that that Cthulhian horror store simulator. But then there's a lore to like the toys that are there. And maybe it could just be creepy. It doesn't need to be like a survival horror game. But that there's stuff that happens with the toys, or people get obsessed with the toys, like a Beanie Baby situation. And they keep coming up to you and kind of, we demand that you stock this thing. And you get people that are like rioting outside of your building because you haven't stocked the correct Baggy Baby or whatever we have in the game. And then and you have to keep ordering it, and people are like, we don't have it in stock, you're going to have to deal with it. And then you have like actual situations that are tense about not being able to stock the correct toys in the store. There's some potential there. There's some things that you could do that would be interesting.
I think I would either go with the park ranger one, the forest ranger one I mentioned earlier, because that sounds just fun, lots of potential for lots going on.
Yeah.
Or perhaps you work at a ski resort and you have to since I've done this job as well, you have to like tend to like selling people snacks or making sure they have hot chocolate or like getting their snow gear for them that they forgot, and gloves and stuff. Or even better with that is maybe you do that during the day, but at night you actually have to go and groom the trails.
I was thinking about this like during the day you're on tasks where you have to go and you have to patrol the trails just to see if there's any problems. Maybe you could see anomalies. Maybe you encounter a Yeti. Maybe there's stuff that's in the woods. Maybe this is a great opportunity to get like Wendigos and stuff that's out there because people have seen a sighting on like the Black Diamond Trail. And what's that about? And you see evidence out there, right? And you like take picture, like you have to write up a report on the incident and like find clues as to what might have happened, and it leads to a larger storyline of like what's actually out in the woods, like what are these things that are actually out there. That could be interesting. I mean, the idea of ski resorts and the trails and stuff being kind of lonely and long lend itself really well to like a horror aspect.
Oh yeah,
you know, it's very cool to do. Maybe you even put in like the hypothermia meters. You know, you can't get too cold when you're out there. Maybe there are blizzards. You get
blizzards. I don't know about hypothermia. You'd be dressed pretty warm.
You might be dressed pretty warm, but you get stuck in storms. Ooh, if you had like actual dynamic environments, like trees fall, or you know, you get into like a microstorm or something like that, and you know, or an avalanche. Ooh, avalanche would be awesome.
A little intense, but sure.
But yeah.
Yeah, I would do something like that.
That'd be cool. Oh god. The Last Ski Resort. That's what we'll call that. That's a good one. So we either have like basically demonic toy store, or we have
nature.
Or we have the Last Ski Resort. Big bad nature is coming to kill you. The natural. You could have a snow shark. That would be great.
Oh, you know what's even better? You do the ski resort, but like instead of doing just a ski resort, it's a mountain game. So it's got both skiing and then it has seasons. So it's skiing in the winter, and then the other season would just be the dry season or the warm weather season. So you'd have hiking.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the fact that these don't incorporate seasons into them. They're in the tropics.
It's fine.
Yeah, this is what the day looks like every single day that you play this game is going to look exactly like this. Again, missed potential. You know, you could absolutely see where like different seasons come along and you'd have different kinds of stuff that was in season. Like a Stardew Valley, where you can plant things in different seasons, and that's what you have to work with. And then there are different events and different. Man, they really missed the boat on a lot of things here, didn't they?
They sure did.
It's a real shame. I guess it's a good thing we're talking about it finally.
Yeah.
So anyway, those are some ideas that we have about maybe a more interesting kind of simulator game. This is... I guess I would say that these kinds of simulators are addictive in the worst way possible, just because they are... We talked about like junk food games. These are probably some of the least satisfying of junk food games, even though you keep popping them. They're the kind of junk food that you use when you're like, if you're like stress eating or something like that.
Right.
And they serve their purpose there, but you ultimately feel very hollow inside and go, oh no, what did I do with my life? I did not feel particularly satisfied or happy after playing these games, even though I wanted to keep playing the games. Not in a way
Right.
that a lot of other games, when you finish them or you complete them, you kind of go, that was good. I'm glad I played that. I have yet to play a simulator game, like a store simulator game like this, where at the end I'm like, I feel satisfied with that experience. I usually do what we're doing now and say, man, if only they had done these 600 things, this could have been really, really great. But they didn't do those things. It's just this. And speaking of being just this is just Total Pebble Knockdown. And Alex, if folks wanted to find out where our Total Pebble Knockdown store, we don't have one of those, but
No, we don't have a merch store.
we don't have the merch store anymore. But it's okay. If you wanted to find,
We could set one up again if you want merch.
hey, if folks want merchandise, I'm sure we could set one up if you really did. But if you want to just go and consume the products that we do make, which is content, Alex, where could they go on the internet?
We have a website or at totalpebblenknockdown.com, but most of that just leads over to our YouTube channel here on YouTube, Total Pebble Knockdown, or to wherever fine podcasts are not sold because they're free. Booze
Cruise.
Cruise.
Yeah. Oh, no, I should have called it Booze Clues.
Because he's drunk.
Yeah. Nice. Booze Clues. Hey, Blue. Do you want to get drunk? Alright. That's the kids' show that they never gave.
It is.
They never created. Alright. Yeah, you can also find us on all the podcast apps. You can find us over on our Discord, which is a public Discord. We talk about more stuff over there if you want to join in on the conversation. And I guess with that, we are ready to jet out of Chew Oughta Know, and we will return on another episode where we are either playing or talking about a game, or probably doing a little bit of both. We usually do both at the same time. Until that time, though, thank you for joining us on Total Pebble Knockdown, and we will see you next time. Goodbye for now.
Bye.